Okay, the video that I have coming up today is going to be of Suanne, and I really like her setup. She is in a Toyota Prius, and she travels out of it for 6 months out of the year, and then she lives in sticks and bricks for the other 6 months out of the year. And what I like about her setup is she has a Class C at home sitting in the driveway, but she wants to travel in this, and she camps inside of it, and she's done it since 2009, so she's got it down. And she has been nice enough to agree to talk to us about her lifestyle and the way she has her Toyota set up. So let's head over there. So yeah, here's Suanne.
Okay. I'm Suanne. I'm 60 years old and I live out of my Prius. I've been doing it since 2009 when I took my test run. The longest I've been on the road in the Prius is 6 months in 2010. I went about 30,000 miles and toured the national parks in the lower 48. Let's see. Let me just show you around, and I'll kind of explain how I live out of the Prius. So, do you want to come over here?
Sure.
So this is my lounge area, and I'm just going to go ahead and sit in here. Explain it to you. I have an organizer on the back of the front seat, which I have pushed as far forward as possible. And I call this my lounge area, but it's actually everything. It's my lounge area, it's my office. I'm a geek. I spend a lot of time on the computer. It's my dressing room. It's 4 feet from the ceiling to the floor. And then the floor itself is 20 by 20 inches. And then, of course, the back seat space. It's my dressing room. It is my bathroom. And it is where I take my nightly sponge baths.
Okay, well, I got to stop you right there because I don't know how we can just keep going after you just said that this little space is your bathroom without you explaining how that happens.
Okay.
I know a lot of people are going to be curious.
Okay.
So how do you...
Okay, well, let me talk about the sponge baths first. Okay, so this is my toiletry bag, and I use spray bottles and a cotton washcloth. Primarily, I use water to get the dirt off and the dry skin cells. And then for the stinky areas, I use a combination of water and rubbing alcohol. So the reason I wanted to talk about that first is that when you live out of a small space, it's really important to have things have multiple uses. So just like this small space here that I just talked about is my lounge and my office and my dressing room and my bathroom, the rubbing alcohol not only cleans me, but it helps me to keep my bathroom items clean. So let me show you my bathroom. Urine is stored in here. And this is where it first goes, and then I just transfer it from this large yogurt container to the detergent bottle. To go poo, I use this 2-gallon bucket. And
So when you use that bucket, what do you do with the waste immediately? Do you take is it one plastic bag per use, or?
That's a good question. I use these things, this is repackaged, these are called double duty bags, and they're specifically made for human waste. And what I do is I line this 2-gallon bucket with it, and the reason it's called double duty is it's 2 bags in one. So what I do is, because they're pretty expensive, they're about $2 a bag, I use them as my backup, but I actually use just grocery bags to go into. And then once it's in there, assuming that there has been no spillover, I just take it, wrap it up, put it in a small sandwich bag, and then put it in some other ones of these I have just keep until I can actually dispose of them, just like somebody would dispose of a baby diaper.
Right, okay.
Okay.
I'm guessing too, just guessing that you probably go to the bathroom at facilities when you're at facilities to save the steps.
Absolutely, yes. So what I'm talking about is when I'm actually dispersed camping like I am now, and there is no bathroom facilities available.
Okay.
But if there are public facilities available, it's much preferable to this solution that I'm showing you now.
Cool.
So let me put this stuff back really quick. And I will show you some other areas. Oh, toilet lid. It's called a lookable lid, and it not only serves as my toilet top, but it also serves as boosting the head of my bed up.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Where do you get that lid?
I just got it online. It's Luggabaloo.
Luggabaloo?
Luggabaloo.
Okay.
It's sold lots of different places. And my bed here is, I have flannel sheets. This is just a fitted sheet here. In the morning when I get up, I take the top sheet and my comforter, roll it up so that this space then becomes a tabletop for me during the day.
Okay, so you put the back seat is a 60-40 seat, so it's not like it's 50-50 and you've got a narrow place. It's you use the 60% side as your bed, and it looks like you have a lot of room in there. Can I come around and open up that door on the other side? Is that okay? And you know, I don't want to forget about these screens. You've got screens so you can get airflow without the bugs during the day.
Right.
Where did you get the screens?
I went to a place in Seattle that sold sporting good fabrics, and these are no-seam screens, so that even the little tiny no-seams can't get through. And there's been times I've been in like southwest Louisiana where literally there were 20 mosquitoes on that side and I was on the inside.
Gotcha.
But needed the airflow because it was hot and humid.
Yeah, I don't know if this camera's picking it up, but that screen is really fine. It looks like it's filtering out quite a bit. Right. So I'm going to go around.
Okay.
You have another screen. Can I open the door?
Sure.
So this is actually a pretty good area. I mean, you've got your feet down tight, but that doesn't matter. Up here, you've got plenty of room, and you can slide down to go to the potty if you have to.
The mattress that I'm sleeping on is an REI 3.5-inch mattress, 72 inches long and 26 inches wide, and it's smaller than the space that it's in. In terms of width. And then the other thing that you're seeing there are some polyester, black polyester fleece curtains.
Oh, these are curtains, okay.
And I have a bungee cord that runs a square here, and the curtains are for privacy when I'm not dispersed camping. So, for instance, if I'm in a Walmart parking lot.
Okay.
And they're big enough so that they cover anything in the front seat. So it ends up being pretty stealth.
Very cool. Let's see, what could we cover? There might be people watching this that are ladies that think, my gosh, if I were to go out and try to camp by myself like that, it seems like it might be dangerous. What would you say to that?
Well, you know, anything that you do is not without risk. And so it's a calculated risk is the way I think about it. I really depend a lot on my intuition. If it doesn't feel safe, even if it looks safe, if it doesn't feel safe, I leave. And I have done that a couple of times. I also have given myself some tools, just in case tools. I took some self-defense classes before I started doing this. I carry, I don't know if you can see this. It's a
I saw that.
GPS spot messenger. And basically what it does is if you don't have cell phone access, it accesses the satellites and will send a 911 message and send help your way. And that 911 message could be for emergencies, or there's another button you can push if you just like have a flat tire and don't have cell phone access.
That's great. What does something like that run?
The device itself was $150, and the subscription, which is yearly, is $100.
But with that, you can go places where there's no cell service. You could, if you twisted your ankle on a mountain way up out of the way, hit that button, and people know, and there's a signal on it to where they know where to come.
Right. And
really good insurance policy if you're by yourself.
I do things. I carry bear spray.
And now, does that shoot a stream out? How does that work?
This does shoot. This one, you can get it, I believe, to do different things, but this one shoots a stream out.
Okay.
And have never had a cause to use it or to take it out other than to show people.
So that's something right there. You've been doing this for 6 years, and you've never had cause to even use a spray.
No.
So really, when you talk about being prepared for the calculated risk and anything, comes with inherent risks, in the 6 years you've been doing this, I mean, you don't have any battle scars from it. Just doesn't really have. I mean, not that it can't, but just going to national parks, going to campgrounds, your random Walmart parking lot here and there in transition, and you've probably seen all kinds of people out camping, sometimes weekenders that might be out boozing or whatever.
Right.
And through all of that, you've never felt like, hey, this is too dangerous, I'm going to go ahead and not do this anymore, or do it with some protection, a group.
No. I do prefer, if I'm dispersed camping out in the middle of the national forest or BLM land, I do prefer having people around that I know and trust. So, for instance, you and Kendall here. But I certainly have been in a situation where I've been by myself. I just become more aware and more cautious.
Well, okay, that's good. Let's see, what else? What could we say? What would be the thing that, if there is an amenity that you have that you absolutely can't live without and would recommend, what would it be? It could be the Prius itself with its 40 plus miles per gallon. It could be your solar. It could be your bed. What would you say it is?
Well, I do really believe it's the Prius itself. And you could do another whole segment on the Prius. It is a generator on wheels, so that I can recharge all my electronics just by turning the car on without the engine running. And then the engine only comes on periodically, like once, 5 minutes every half hour, to bring its own battery's state of charge up to snuff. 40 to 45 miles per gallon when you're traveling is nothing to sneeze at. I love it. And before this year, that's primarily what I did. I put many, many miles on. This year, I've chosen to pretty much stay in the state of Arizona and move with the weather. So it's not too cold at night, not too hot during the day. When I thought about doing this, I strongly weighed whether or not I wanted to use our 20-foot RV. It's a 20-foot Class C with all the amenities. And really, after going back and forth, weighing the pros and cons, what I love about the Prius, what I love about the RV, the Prius won out. And primarily just because it's fun to drive, I can get in places where I couldn't get with the RV. And it just provides that recharging ability for my electronics.
Would it be fair to say that you cover more ground because you've got the better mileage as another benefit, so you actually get to see more places than maybe your gas budget would allow if you were in a comfortable, bigger?
Right.
Well, cool. Thanks a lot. You had a blog.
Yes.
We wanted to talk about. So how do we find that? Is this you chronicle your travels? This
is a travel blog, and it has lots more information of how I've used my Prius and how I have it set up. The URL is Suanne Online, and that's spelled SUANNEONLINE.blogspot.com.
Are people welcome to contact you with follow-up questions?
Sure. On the blog itself, there is a place that you can email me, or if you make a comment, I'm pretty good about responding to each comment.
So with respect to the comments in this YouTube video, would you be checking in and maybe answering questions there too?
Sure, I could do that.
Any last words?
No, but I think you should scan the view that we all have, and you can see why we love it.
Yeah, we had neighbors this morning. The cows came in. There's a water trough down below, and the cows came in. It must have been over 30 of them, and I guess they were 5 or 6 feet from you this morning. So thanks a lot, Suanne. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And here we are.